Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. To us, OC stands for community because we truly believe that our community thrives when we come together. That's why we thank you for joining us each Tuesday evening on channel 56.10 and on Wednesday morning. As you know, April is Autism Awareness Month. It's a month that we will continue to celebrate each other and our diversity. Today on our show, we have two special guests. That's Carla Hutchison and also Kim Derrick from No Limits Creative Arts. We're here to talk about the importance of inclusion, dance, and the arts. Did you know that according to the National Center for Education Statistics, that 1 out of 6 children have developmental delays, and there are about 7.3 million children that receive special education services. So today is a very important show for us to talk about the importance of including everybody in our community. Julie kính chào quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV trong chương trình Kiến thức Y khoa Gia đình và Xã hội. Chương trình Kiến thức Y khoa Gia đình và Xã hội là chương trình OC Health and Education. Chương trình đây là chương trình song ngữ. Julie hy vọng nói về thông tin rất là quan trọng cho quý vị khán giả hôm nay. Tháng 4 là một tháng để dành cho April Autism Awareness Month, một tháng cho về tự kỷ. Hôm nay Julie muốn mời được hai quý khách, đó là Carla Hutchison với Kim Derrick to the show. Hai quý vị đây là một người của trong cái hội là No Limits Creative Arts. Julie hy vọng mình có thời gian nói thêm về thông tin đây. Welcome ladies to the show.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you asking us on, Julie, and thank you to everyone out there for welcoming us to your show.
Well, Kim, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Julie. I appreciate you extending the opportunity for us to be here today. And then thank you to Little Saigon TV and its audience. We are excited to be here today and share more information with you.
Yes. You know, when in part of the intro, I talked about the statistics about autism and disabilities and things like that. Would you be able to translate for me, Kim, in Vietnamese?
Yeah, no. I can order us lunch, but that's about it.
You know, I think a lot of us, you know, we have, you know, Vietnamese heritage and we might be bilingual or understand. I know you had mentioned to me that your Vietnamese knowledge is about the extent of ordering food.
That is correct. And understanding little conversations when I go to family gatherings, but that's about it.
Well, tell me a little bit about your family, Kim.
Well, my parents met during the Vietnam War. My father was a soldier stationed in Saigon, and he met my mom and brought her back to the United States in 1971. And a few years later, I came along. We lived in Michigan, so we were probably the only Vietnamese family, you know, there. We moved to California in the early 1980s and then found more of our community here. And then slowly, my mom's the oldest of 12.
Wow.
Slowly, we started to get more of our family over here, and most of them actually reside here in Garden Grove today.
Now, how did you get involved with No Limits Creative Arts?
So my daughter was diagnosed with autism around 3. And we had her in a preschool program, but I really wanted something that I could do with her on the weekends. You know, I work a full-time job outside of the home, and I think I found a program at a local preschool. And, you know, it was for neurotypical kids, and I was a wreck. She didn't fit in. I felt like a failure, that how can I not have my child enjoy this like all the other children here. So we stopped going, and then we ended up relocating to Yorba Linda from Garden Grove, and I started researching what are programs geared towards kids, you know, with special needs that happen on the evening or the weekends. And that's when I found Carla and No Limits Creative Arts, and we enrolled Ava on a Saturday class, and it's been over 5 years and we're still there.
Wow, thank you so much, Kim, for sharing so much information. Now it's my turn to try to translate and interpret all those.
Yeah.
Thưa quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV, hôm nay Julie hân hạnh mời được chị Kim Derrick. Chị Kim Derrick là một gia đình mà cũng tham dự trong chương trình của No Limits Creative Arts. Kim chia sẻ với mình là bố mẹ của Kim là gặp nhau ở Việt Nam, là bố của Kim là một người lính trong đã đánh giặc trong Vietnam War, mà Kim sống ở Michigan với hiện tại ở Yorba Linda. Vâng, nói chút là Kim là một người mẹ mà cũng là một người board member của cái trung tâm No Limits. Mà Julie hỏi một cái câu là tại sao Kim tìm được cái chương trình đây, là Kim nói đó là lúc mà con của Kim nhỏ là Kim cho vô cái lớp dance, mà cái lớp đó cho mấy em mà không có cái khuyết tật về không có tự kỷ thì rất khó cho em đó. Mà sau đó là Kim có tìm được cái chương trình của No Limits, and thấy con của Kim rất là tiến bộ nhiều, thì Kim là hân hạnh được thấy được cái chương trình đây, mà cũng có một cái thời gian join cái board member đã giúp cho nhiều gia đình khác nữa. Kim, thank you so much for doing this and for sharing your experiences, because I know in the Vietnamese community, talking about disability is very hard. Convincing our families to seek services or diagnosis is oftentimes a challenge. You know, so I want to say thank you for being so open about your journey with your family and your daughter Ava.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying being here.
Thank you. Now, I want to know more about you, Carla, because I know we get to see each other throughout the community, say hi in passing.
Exactly.
But this is really the first time we get to really talk about what is it that we do.
Yes.
So can you tell me about No Limits and why you felt it was important to develop this program?
I started it actually for my son. I mean, I've been a dance instructor and a dancer myself since I was 3 and started teaching when I was 15. And my kids grew up in a dance studio, and my daughter dances, and my husband's an artist. And Calvin had he didn't have a diagnosis, but we knew that he had a disability. He had global delays. And again, like Kim, I couldn't find anything for him that he would feel comfortable and feel like he could do. And so I took all of that information and I went, I can do this. I'm going to do this for him. So I started this program so that he would have something that gave him the ability to express himself, but also with the aids and the stuff that he needed in order to be successful.
Well, thank you so much. I think it's so important that both of you, as loving and caring mothers, took your personal struggles in a sense and made it a purpose.
Yes.
And I think once we're able to find purpose in our life and do something that's meaningful, it not only changes the life of your own children, but the lives of other children and families around our community. So I really applaud you for having the idea and the will and the power and the team to come together to support you.
Thank you.
Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Carla Hutchinson. Carla Hutchinson là một người founder and cái người executive director của No Limits Creative Arts. Đây là một cái trung tâm mà giúp cho rất nhiều trẻ có bệnh tự kỷ về có nhiều khuyết tật khác, mà không phải là cho mấy em mà bị có cái disability không, mà rất nhiều em mà cũng muốn tham dự cái chương trình đây. Một cái đích hôm nay đó về cái show của mình đó là Julie nói là về inclusion. Inclusion là một cái chữ là Julie hy vọng quý vị khán giả hiểu, đó là mỗi em có khuyết tật hay mỗi em mình nói là bình thường đi, là cũng phải có một cái thời gian, một cái cơ hội để cho có cái joy về cái vui vẻ, về cái hy vọng để cho tham dự rất nhiều chương trình. Kim chia sẻ với mình đó là con của Kim có rất khó khăn về học cái dance class, cái lớp nhảy cho mấy em bình thường, mà Carla là một người mẹ thương con, cũng có một con một đứa boy có khuyết tật mà kêu bằng global delay, mà là có khó khăn về rất nhiều cái môn đó, mà cũng có một em bé gái cũng không có khuyết tật mà cũng được học tham dự cái chương trình đây. So Julie cũng cảm ơn Carla để cho có một cái ý và mấy cái thương về mỗi em để cho mình tạo cái chương trình để cho rất nhiều em được tham dự. Carla, I hope I gave you did some justice to explaining your program. But
I'm sure you did.
But I think that you and Carla have shared with me so much information about the organization, but after the commercial break, we're going to get a little bit more detail about all the programs that are available, and we'll learn more and invite our community to participate.
Sounds great.
Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV đã theo dõi chương trình hôm nay. Sau phần quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục hiểu thêm về chương trình của No Limits Creative Arts. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. We're going to continue our conversation with Carla Hutchison and Kim Derrick from No Limits Creative Arts. Before the commercial break, we had a great opportunity to learn about you, Kim, about your history, about your family, and also about you, Carla, the reason why you started No Limits. I love the fact that both of your work stems from your personal challenges, but also your accomplishment with your daughter and your son and your daughter too. I want to know more about the program. We basically know it's a dance and art program, but Carla, tell me what No Limit means to you. And maybe, Kim, you can tell us about some of the programs that are available.
Well, like you said earlier, it was very important for me that it was inclusive.
Yes.
I really wanted my son to be welcomed by everybody and understand that he was just like everybody else. And so we started off with a dance class, and our program grew, and we are now offering musical theater. We're offering art classes, voice classes, tumbling classes. I found that it's such a great outlet for these kids to express themselves in their own way. Some of them are nonverbal. Some of them have more gross motor development that they need to work on. And all of this has been helping them. And I've seen so many kids thrive and succeed in life in general just by being this. And their confidence level has really grown.
I think, when people talk about inclusion, they don't really know what that means. Because for me as a speech pathologist, when I teach our kids how to talk, and they get a few words, and it's so exciting to the family. But one of the biggest heartbreak for me is watching that sometimes, even though our kids learn how to communicate, when they make an approach to a child that is neurotypical, that's not on the spectrum, or that doesn't have a disability, these kids may walk away from our children. And that's heartbreaking for me as a mom to see.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a son on a spectrum, and he's in high school right now, and he's in band. And, he's so excited to be a part of band. And I was so excited to come see his performance. But it broke my heart because when he walked to a group of boys, they all turned away and walked away from him. And then he turned around again. He persevered. He said, I'm going to walk again to another group. And they did that again. And I thought I can handle it, but I was like, oh my gosh, I was tearing up.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you, because for all of our kids who make the attempt to make friends, your program allows our kids to have friends.
Yes.
One thing I saw on your website, or I think on their social media, that I was excited about was your mentor program.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
We have a huge mentor program. So I named all my classes, but we have right now 45 mentors in our program. And
mentors are kids their age, right?
Oh yeah, kids their age, and some of them are, our mentors are junior high to high school.
Yes.
And yes, some of them do get service hours, but some of them don't need service hours. They come because they want to be there for our kids. And and I have a lot of them that have stuck around. I have some that are in college right now, and they Zoom into our classes so that they can be there for the kids. No lie.
Wow, but thank you. I think that's really important to me. It's that bond and that friendship and that inclusion. Thank you so much for all that you do for all of our kids. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie có thời gian hỏi thêm về chương trình của No Limits Creative Arts. Chương trình No Limits Creative không phải là chương trình về dance class, về dạy nhảy không. Thêm nữa rất có nhiều cái chương trình về arts, về ảo thuật, về nói về voice and tumbling, là giống như rất nhiều cái chương trình khác để cho mấy em mà có cái khó khăn về đứng đi, về nói chuyện. Julie thấy đó là cái chương trình đây là không phải cái chương trình tạo cho mấy em được học cái chương trình đây không, mà được tạo rất nhiều bạn về cái relationship. Julie chia sẻ với quý vị đó là Julie cũng có một em có tự kỷ. Con của Julie là học high school, cũng ở trong lớp bình thường mà học trong vô cái nhóm band. Mà cái phần mà khó khăn nhất là Julie là một người âm ngữ trị liệu, đó là speech pathologist. Julie dạy cho con của Julie nói chuyện rất là giỏi, giống như người bình thường. Mà Julie thấy đó là mình là người mẹ, mình thấy con của mình có cái khó khăn tạo ra có kết bạn á, rất là đau lòng cho mình. Mà Julie thấy đó là cái chương trình giống như của Carl là tạo ra đó, là tạo cho con mình có một cái thời gian có kết bạn. Mà Julie học hiểu thêm á, là trong cái website của Carl nó có một cái mentorship program. Cái chương trình đây là cho mấy em mà không có khuyết tật, để cho hướng dẫn mấy em mà có khuyết tật. Carla nói là các em trong junior high school, chừng nào ra trường high school mà đi đại học mà vẫn còn Zoom để cho tham dự cái lớp đây, để cho giúp rất nhiều em. Thì Julie hân hạnh mời được Carla lên cái show hôm nay nói về cái chương trình đây. Carla, thank you again once more for giving us parents so much hope that you're teaching kindness and compassion in the world.
Oh, well, thank you.
Kim, you're gonna have to participate too. You know, she's telling us about all these programs. Can you tell me about, in detail, about maybe the dance class that Ava was part of and all the other classes that you know about in the program?
Sure. So my daughter participates in the dance class, musical theater, and tumbling.
Wow.
And, you know, our kids perform in front of audiences. So they take these classes, but they perform. We performed in our first ever competition last year.
Yes.
My kid was so excited. She's like, Mom, there were judges. It was like she really felt, you know, included, and just the joy on her face.
They're not a spectator anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're just like everyone else.
You know, she goes to these classes, you know, she learns routines. As a parent, you know, sometimes it's hard to let go and let them go in that class, but knowing that you've got an instructor and the mentors there, that I don't have to run in because there's a behavior. They're taking care of that for me. It's just so reassuring, not only for my daughter, but for me as the parent who just wants to always run in and help. And, you know, this program has given her the confidence that for 2 years in a row, she was in her school play.
Wow.
With no extra supports, no aides, no anyone, no parents. I think we showed up for the first day and she's like, you can go now. So it's really amazing. And one thing I just wanted to add that, yeah, she goes and she makes friends, but I've made friends. I've made friends with the other parents who understand my struggles, and we can relate. And, you know, we'll have mom's night out or go to brunch. And I've really formed really meaningful, long-lasting relationships too.
I love hearing that, because, you know, I think we as parents always shift the focus on the child. What can we do for our child? But we sometimes forget, what can we do for ourselves? But I love that fact that you're able to build that friendship and that bond. Many times I see families come to me at the clinic and they say, oh, I feel so alone. Nobody in my family gets me. Nobody knows what I'm going through. Or they think everything is okay. You know, but thank you for being so transparent and taking us along your journey, Kim, of this beautiful accomplishment. I can see why you're a board member, because you got to be in the thick of it and really do more for the families. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Kim Derek chia sẻ với mình đó là Kim là một người board member của No Limits Creative Arts. Kim nói đó là con của Kim, bé Ava đó, hiện tại đó là I think 11 tuổi hay gì đó, học không phải là một cái lớp dance không, mà lớp tumbling với theater arts, mà không phải là mấy em mà học cái lớp đây mà họ học hiểu về cái chương trình và có mentor giúp em. Tại Kim nói đó là người mẹ đó là mỗi lần con mình có cái khó khăn, mình muốn nhúng tay vô, mình muốn giúp con mình, mà Kim nói đó là lúc mà con của Kim học cái lớp đây, có rất nhiều mentor là mấy em khác giúp cho con của Kim học được trong cái lớp đây, cho nó có rất nhiều thành công, mà không phải là tạo ra bạn thôi, con của Kim tạo ra bạn, mà Kim nói đó là tham dự cái lớp đây, Kim cũng kết bạn với người mẹ khác, với cũng có nhiều cái thời gian gặp cái người mẹ mà hiểu về cái câu hỏi, cái khó khăn của Kim. Kim, I think that, you know, when you mentioned that having that network of support with parents, I think that's one thing that we want to highlight, because, you know, when it's not just a dance class, it's a class that's building friendships and basically a support group for parents.
Yes, it is. And, once your kids are comfortable in the class, my kid, she doesn't want me to watch her in class. So she's like, you can leave, Mom. And, you as a parent can take that as an opportunity to run an errand. But for the most part, we'll go to brunch and we'll just decompress from the week. We'll share. The kids are of different ages. So you've got some parents who've been through this stage of life and other parents who haven't, or they're starting to. So we just share and
help each other out.
Help each other out. And it's great. I never thought enrolling her in this program that I would probably get more out of it than she does.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for being on the show today. But we're going to go to a commercial break and have more opportunities to continue our conversation. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Sau vòng quảng cáo, Julie sẽ tiếp tục nói thêm với Kim and Carla of No Limits Creative Arts. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show. I'm your host, Julie Yip. We're going to continue our conversation with Carla and Kim from No Limits Creative Arts. We were able to learn more about the mentorship program and all of these other programs that you're provided to the community. Is there a website or contact information that our audience can reach out to you?
Yes, you can visit our website. It's www.nolimitscreativearts.org. On that site, you can learn about our classes, you can learn about our program, you can also learn about becoming a volunteer or a mentor, and what steps you need to take in order to do that. We actually have, Julie, a great thing coming up that we're really excited about.
Okay.
We are doing a showcase this year because, again, one of the best things about our program is not only do these kids get to take classes and be inclusive with others, but they get a chance to perform and shine on stage. And so we are doing a showcase this year, and we'll have more information up on the website as well about that program.
Okay, perfect. Kim, you mentioned to me that your daughter, because she would participate in No Limits, that when she went to the school, she got interested in participating in the school play. Can you tell me what happened?
Yeah, I had a coworker have extra tickets for his daughter's school play.
Oh.
And I said, yeah, let's go. So I took my daughter, and about halfway through the show during intermission, she turned to me and said, I want to do that. When can I be in a play?
Wow. Did you ever think that she can do that prior to having her participate in the program?
No, not at all. I thought she was maybe just comfortable with performing with her No Limits group, but I never thought, she was interested in doing anything beyond that. And I think by providing her that opportunity to go, it sparked that interest for her. So I think this showcase is not only a good opportunity for our kids to perform, but for people who have, children similar, to our kids, to bring their kids and let them see all that they could potentially do and see if something sparks for them, and if maybe that's their path.
So it's just really eye-opening for her to see her true abilities and also her passion.
Yeah, for sure. It's great.
Thank you so much. Thưa quý vị, nếu quý vị muốn hiểu thêm về chương trình của No Limits thì quý vị có thể lên website. Cái website đó một lần nữa là www.nolimitscreativearts.org. Một lần nữa là www.nolimits, that's NOLIMITS, creativearts .org thì Julie, quý vị lên chương trình đây, lên cái website đây sẽ hiểu về rất nhiều chương trình. Cái hỏi đây tạo cho mấy em thêm nữa. Chừng nào con của quý vị muốn tham dự hay muốn volunteer cho cái chương trình mà mentorship, mình lên cái website có một cái contact section thì quý vị bấm vào đó and nói thêm về cái thông tin đó thì bên đây họ sẽ liên lạc quý vị. Kim, I know that you mentioned that your daughter was able to join this group, able to see that she has more potential, and even to now participating in a mainstream activity, not just a special education program or a class that provide her so much accommodation. I know you mentioned during the break that it was just nice to see that she no longer needs you and that she's more independent. And that is such a great thing to see as a mom. How does that make you and even your husband or your family feel?
It just makes me feel that all the decisions we've made have been the right ones for her. And what I love about the No Limits program is at some point, we have class for older kids, but my goal for her is actually to transition from student to a mentor. So that is my ultimate goal for her. And, we've talked about it and she is interested because I think Carla can attest to this. In class, she will actually help some of her friends who might have like a small meltdown or they're not focusing. She's very nurturing. So I see the progression to a mentor very natural for her.
Because I know my own mentor, there was a quote that he said that, he feels more accomplished when the student becomes the teacher. And that's what it reminded me of. So thank you, Kim, for sharing your daughter's journey. I'm so excited to see what she becomes in the future. Because an autism diagnosis to many people, it's scary. And within the Vietnamese community, they're afraid of a diagnosis because they think it's something horrible or it brings negative attention. I got my autism diagnosis when I was in my 40s. I've always known that I had autism as, when I became a professional. But, it really explained all the struggles I had as a child. Being a loner in high school, being a loner even in college, getting a master's degree from Loma Linda and still not even having a single friend. But I think the diagnosis really helped me learn to receive help, learn to actually take a break. And, I think, and it makes sense to my families eventually, but I think it's really hard, I think, within our culture to understand that a diagnosis is something very, very helpful and very opening such that you're now able to receive all the help that your child needs or your family needs. Thưa quý vị khán giả, hôm nay Julie muốn chia sẻ với quý vị đó là Julie cũng có triệu chứng tự kỷ. Nhỏ lớn lên Julie có nhiều cái khó khăn mà về gia đình của mình không có hiểu về tự kỷ, về cái khuyết tật của mình đó, thì họ không có tìm được rất nhiều cái chương trình dịch vụ cho giúp Julie. So nhỏ lớn lên tới high school, tới đại học, Julie cũng không có nhiều bạn không có biết tiếp xúc với mọi người. Mà lúc mà Julie hiểu rồi đó thì Julie thấy là có rất cái nhiều tương lai với cái nhiều cơ hội để cho mình tiến bộ hơn. Julie thấy đó là Julie khuyến khích cho quý vị đó là chừng nào quý vị thấy con mình có cái khó khăn về học hành, về kết bạn, về làm rất nhiều cái việc vân vân đó thì quý vị nên suy nghĩ là mình nên đi bác sĩ, mình nên lấy cái diagnosis. Tại lúc mà mình chấp nhận về con mình có cái khó khăn, mình mới được chấp nhận rất cái nhiều dịch vụ để giúp con mình có cái tương lai với có nhiều cái cơ hội hơn. Kim, thank you so much for helping me, have that platform to talk about my own diagnosis, how it's helped me, helped my family, and even helping my community. I think once I truly understood my gift, and oftentimes I see autism as my gift now, then it was a burden. I mean, definitely as a child, it was a struggle. And, but I see it such a gift because it's a different perspective on how you see the world and also how you see other people. So when you see someone hurting, you're not judging. You're actually stopping to listen better. I think my autism diagnosis taught me to listen better. It also taught me to be more patient, because, I used to push, as a young clinician, I was mentioning to you, I would always want to push parents to get a diagnosis. But when a parent is willing to see some of those challenges and accept that their child is having some difficulties, I think it makes them more willing to come to us as family members to accept the diagnosis. Because even within my own family, my brother had a hard time when I pointed out with my nieces. You know, and in the Vietnamese community, my brother said, "Oh, mày nghĩ con của mày khôn hơn con của tao." And I'm like, "Oh, no, I don't think my child's better than your child." But it's because I saw how therapy benefited me personally and my children and my families and my patients. So I thank you, Kim, for sharing that, the importance of getting a diagnosis, but also the joy of watching your daughter going from a student and now slowly transitioning into being a teacher or a mentor. I know you mentioned, Carla, that there's a showcase.
Yes.
Can you give us a little bit about details? Do we have a date, time, information?
do.
Can you address the audience and let them know about it?
Our showcase will be June 24th over at the Brea Curtis Theater in Brea at 5:30. And we are not only going to be showcasing all of our wonderful, fantastic students, but we will have our host studios that host us in our different various locations be coming and performing with us as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Kim, where can we get more information? What's the website one more time?
The website is www.nolimitscreativearts.org. One more time, www.nolimitscreativearts.org. Can I add in addition?
Sure.
I mentioned that I am in Yorba Linda, but actually we have classes scattered all around the county. So we have classes in Los Alamitos, Placentia,
Orange,
and Yorba Linda.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. We're going to go to a commercial break and hopefully we'll be able to talk about, you know, how they can participate and then also join the showcase. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Carla and Kim của No Limits Creative Arts. Nếu quý vị muốn tham dự cái chương trình với cái showcase thì quý vị nên lên cái website một lần nữa, đó là www.nolimitscreativearts.org. Cái chương trình showcase là phải bị tại Brea Curtis Theater. Thì nếu quý vị thấy cái chương trình đây có thể mình muốn tham dự để cho mình hiểu biết thêm, Julie khuyên quý vị đã lên cái website hiểu nhiều thông tin hơn. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.
Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. Today we're going to continue our conversation with Carla Hutchinson and also Kim Derrick. We had a great opportunity to talk about the program, but now I want to know, how does someone enroll in your program? Just before the commercial break, Kim, you mentioned there's 4 locations. Once more, it's Placentia, Yorba Linda, Orange, and Los Alamitos. Is there a chance of possibly getting one in Garden Grove and maybe one to help our Vietnamese community specifically?
Of course. Of course. We are always looking to expand because it's so needed for our kids, and that's my goal, is to take it to as many locations as I possibly can.
I can't wait to work with you, because I know, because I run OC Autism Foundation, there's many opportunities to get more people included, and also, you know, getting our Vietnamese community out there. Part of our cultural challenge, Carla, is that, you know, when our families have kids with autism, oftentimes they don't want to take them outside. They don't want to draw negative attention, or they think that, you know, my kids will never improve or they won't change. So I really like the fact that you're willing to work with us and work with anybody in the community that's willing to host a location. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, yes. We would love that.
Okay. Now, how big of a facility can we donate to you, or and time requirements?
Normally, our classes are an hour long.
Okay.
You know, we will take any location that we basically can get, and you know, depending on the size of the location, we can do a dance class, or maybe we're doing just a voice class or an art class. So whatever the community is in need of and whatever we're able to kind of get, and so that we can host those classes for them.
Okay, great. Let's hope that the community can reach out to us and help more. Thưa quý vị, hôm nay Julie muốn chia sẻ với quý vị đó là No Limits có 4 cái location là 4 chỗ. Thành phố của Placentia, Yorba Linda, Orange với Los Alamitos. Julie hỏi Carla là có thể nào mình tạo cái lớp trong thành phố Garden Grove hay trong vườn cam của mình cho cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình. Thì Carla nói miễn sao có ai trong có một cái chỗ nào để cho giúp cái hỏi đây đó thì mình chỉ cần 1 tiếng đồng hồ thôi. Chừng nào cái phòng nhỏ đó thì có thể làm art class, cái voice class để cho giúp mấy em. Mà chừng nào mình có cái location nào nó lớn hơn, cái phòng lớn hơn thì có thể tạo ra cái lớp dance class cho mấy em đây. Thì nếu quý vị có giờ hay cái thời gian giúp được cái hỏi đây thì Julie liên lạc Julie, số điện thoại của Julie một lần nữa đó là 714 643 5321. 714-643-5321. I was just saying if there's anybody in the community or the viewer that's watching that's interested in maybe collaborating with you or with us to host a class or an arts or dance class within the Vietnamese community or within the local community here, we definitely can partner up with you. So they can reach me directly and then I'll relay the information.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay. Well, Kim, I know that you just mentioned that there are classes that already started. The classes are usually 8 weeks in duration. So even though the classes have started, can our family still enroll? How does that work?
Most definitely. We just kicked off our next 8-week session.
Okay.
And we still have openings in some of our classes. So if someone is interested, we can prorate our fees based on how many weeks are left. And, if they just go to our website, www.nolimitscreativearts.org, they can see which classes are available, and we look forward to seeing you there.
I know that during the commercial break, I asked you, the cost for the class, and you mentioned that it's very affordable for our families to participate. And for those families who cannot afford those fees, you mentioned that there's a scholarship program. How does one enroll for something like that?
So the information should be on our website. Someone would just need to reach out, let us know that they are interested in having their child participate, but they just need that little bit of extra help. And we fundraise throughout the year. We have, fundraisers that we do, but we also have donors who assist as well. We did a dance-a-thon last summer with our kids, and we had family members, friends who donated, and we were able to raise some money so we could have some scholarship opportunities out there.
So even though there's classes going on right now, if this is not the right time, there's still opportunities for these families to participate with our dance-a-thon, and we'll be doing a summer camp as well for our students.
Oh wow! I think a great fundraiser idea is to do a dance-a-thon with noted people in the community.
Oh yeah,
I think we should do something like that to raise more funds, because I love the fact that you don't turn anybody away. For families who can't afford it, they can help contribute to continue these programs. For the families who have some financial hardships, and just know that their kids need these programs, that you're able to provide scholarships. So thank you so much for doing that for our community. Thưa quý vị, nếu quý vị thấy con của mình được tham dự cái chương trình đây mà quý vị có nhiều cái khó khăn về trả cho cái chi phí về cái lớp đây, họ cũng có một cái scholarship, thì quý vị lên website một lần nữa, đó là nolimitscreativearts.org, thì liên lạc họ có luôn tạo cái gai quỹ trong năm để giúp cho gia đình nào mà cũng không có may mắn hoặc cũng có nhiều cái khó khăn. Thì Julie cũng cảm ơn Carla với chị Kim để luôn thương mấy em đây mà tạo cho cái lớp đây. Chừng nào gia đình nào mà còn cái chương trình mà không có khả năng thì họ luôn sẵn sàng sẽ giúp quý vị. Kim, if you want to say anything to our audience before we close out today.
I just want to thank you for listening. This is such an amazing program, and I think believing in our kids and knowing that really there are no limits to what they can accomplish is so important for our kids and for us as well.
Yes. Cảm ơn quý vị. Hôm nay Kim cũng cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình hôm nay và cũng có thời gian để cho chia sẻ về chương trình đây. Kim nói đó là quan trọng nhất là mình phải nhớ là con mình không có giới hạn nào, là không có limit. Mình phải tin tưởng về con mình, về cái khả năng của em để cho nó có cái tương lai với nhiều cái tốt đẹp hơn. And Carla, what is it that you want to say to our community today?
I just want to say thank you so much for letting us come on and talk about this and expressing how it is important to give all of our kids a chance to let them shine, to express themselves, and to be one with our communities.
You know, like I mentioned to the community that, you know, to us, OC stands for community because it's not just Orange County. I think our disability community needs to be celebrated, needs to be visible. One of the things I always mention when I talk to people, I said disability rights are civil rights. You know, our families struggle with just the basics of education and health care, and even like you mentioned, even dance class. Because oftentimes there are not programs out there that are readily available that includes our kids. It's oftentimes kind of an afterthought. But I want to thank you and applaud you both once again for all your tireless effort and your love for our community and our kids throughout the year. Julie cảm ơn quý vị đã luôn luôn theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Hôm nay Julie có một thời gian rất là đặc biệt nói chuyện với Carla Hutchinson, là một người đã tạo ra cái chương trình của No Limits, mà cũng là một cái người mẹ rất thương con, muốn tạo ra cái chương trình để cho gia đình của mình với gia đình của mỗi em mà có khuyết tật với cái khó khăn được có rất là nhiều câu hỏi. Carla nói đó là mình phải luôn luôn tin tưởng con mình, là con mình rất có nhiều cái khả năng. Chừng nào em có khuyết tật, em có cái khó khăn, mình cũng phải thấy đó là con mình có nhiều cái khả năng. Mình đối xử con mình khác thì em mình nó sẽ shine, đó là nó sẽ sáng hơn. Julie cũng luôn luôn cảm ơn quý vị đã ủng hộ chương trình. Julie thấy đó là cộng đồng của chúng tôi, đó là our community, đó là OC, là rất là có sức mạnh lúc mà mình làm việc chung với, mà quan trọng nhất là phải làm cái inclusion, là thấy mỗi người, mỗi em, mỗi người nào có khả năng với kỹ năng khác, mình phải cho họ tham dự chung. Thì Julie thấy là rất là quan trọng cho Julie đã được làm cái chương trình đây và cũng được cái ủng hộ của quý vị trong năm. Nếu quý vị muốn con của quý vị tham dự chương trình của No Limits thì hiện tại có rất nhiều lớp là dance class, Tamil class, theater class, voice class, rất nhiều cái lớp đó. Thì quý vị đã cũng được tham dự cái showcase một lần nữa là at the Brea Curtis Theater ngày 24 tháng 6 lúc 5:30 tới 6:30. Cái chương trình đây là chương trình để cho quý vị có một thời gian tham dự về hiểu thêm về cái chương trình. Nếu quý vị thấy con của mình có khả năng mà muốn học cái chương trình đây thì quý vị sẽ nên enroll vô cái lớp đây. Chỉ nào quý vị có khó khăn cũng luôn luôn có cái scholarship. Julie một lần nữa cảm ơn Kim Derrick đã join cái show đây với Carla Hutchinson. Once again, thank you so much ladies for being a part of our show.
Thank you.
Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV và chúc quý vị một ngày rất tốt đẹp và nhiều sức khỏe. Cảm ơn quý vị của Little Saigon TV.